today, history will be made. Yes. In fact, when I checked on Facebook, the number of people following us is unprecedented. This debate is not even about E-levy. It's about who stands with the people of Ghana and who is against the people of Ghana. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And so on this day, let the people of Ghana know that the minority side, under the able leadership of Honorable Haruna Idrisu, will stand with them, vote against E-levy, remain resolute, resilient, and consistent with our conviction and principle. Mr. Speaker, we are not those who would tell the people of Ghana that Momo is bad in the heat of the run-up to elections. And then when elections are over, they make a U-turn and turn around to tax the ordinary Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, what are we talking about? What we are saying is simple. My brother, Honorable Kojo Ponkroma, talks about if you buy something. Momo is not about purchases. And that is what the ranking member said. There are normally 3 levels of taxation. What you earn, such as wages and salaries. What you consume, that is what you talked about. And then wealth, that is property. So if I send money to my son in the school to take that money and go and buy books, and you want to tax that, you call that consumption? Mr. Speaker, that is insensitivity of the highest order. Mr. Speaker, when I send 1,000 Ghana to my son in school, this government is proposing to take 1.5 of that. When my son goes to buy textbooks, they still want to follow that money and take 1.5 of that. If my son goes to the pharmacy, and this is the worst of it, if he buys the medication, first of all, he pays for the medication. If it says 100 cedi, he will pay a VAT on that 100 cedi. And when he decides that he wants to pay that VAT, that you government, you are charging, you still want to charge 1.5% on that tax that the son is paying. Mr. Speaker, this is what we call lazy man's economics, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today, this government promised us that we're going to reduce taxes from 25% to 20% in terms of corporate tax. They told us they were moving from taxation to production. Mr. Speaker, even before E-levy is passed, they had already earmarked 242 million cedis as E-levy transaction costs. So you've not even seen your wife, and yet you've already bought a mattress and a mat ready to chop that one. That is the issue we are dealing with, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in 2021, tax revenue was 55 billion. In 1 year, they want to increase the tax revenue by 45% to 80 billion. But the minister tells us that he's doing E-levy because they want to create jobs. Go to the budget and look at the amount allotted for U-Start. That amount is just 5.7% of the total revenue we expect from E-levy. How can you tell the people of Ghana that you are putting in E-levy because you want to create jobs, but when it comes to the allotment of those monies, they don't even get 10% of that money? Mr. Speaker, in my opinion, this is deception of the highest order. Mr. Speaker, today, COVID has suffered in Ghana than how people have even suffered out of COVID. Because everything that happens, they blame it on COVID. I refer to the Bank of Ghana summary statistics, Mr. Speaker. So far, just in 1 year, cocoa price has moved up from $2,482 per ton to $2,600. Gold has equally moved up. Crude oil has equally moved up. All our major exports, the prices have moved up. And yet our net reserves, where these monies go to, has dropped from 8 billion to 5 billion. Mr. Speaker, what is the true state of the Ghanaian economy today? Our deficit is the worst out of 40 African countries. Our debt to GDP has risen to 80.1%. The cedi today is known as the worst performing currency in Africa. Inflation is at 15%. Petrol prices have gone up by 66% in just 1 year. Just this year. In Ghana, Our petrol price is the highest out of 33 African countries. Transport fares have gone up by 15%. Our total debt now stands at 351 billion. Mr. Speaker, having put the people of Ghana through this misery, through this difficulty, why then do you want to tax their little money that they put on their mobile money account? Why? Mr. Speaker, why? Mr. Speaker, why? But it's proper that we put things in perspective. In all these matters, Mr. Speaker, the head of the economic management team, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has remained in a state of comatose. He has been silent. Prior to the elections, he was organizing lecture after lecture, town hall after town hall. Having won the election, the vice president has vamoosed and sublimed into thin air. Between the vice president and the minister of finance, who supports Momo? Because not quite long ago, the vice president told us that he doesn't support mobile money taxation. So what has changed? It is clear, Mr. Speaker, that the center cannot hold. That the economic management team under President Akufo-Addo, their performance has been the worst performance in the history of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the failure on this part, on the part of this government, is legendary. And I say it is legendary because today, Mr. Speaker, how to put even 3 square meals on the table, it's a major issue. MPs are here. The fuel, if you bought 400 cedi worth of fuel, it filled your tank. Today, you have to buy 800 cedi worth of fuel with the same amount. Mr. Speaker, cement prices have gone up. Iron rods have gone up. The ordinary market woman is suffering. The ordinary driver is suffering. Kenke has not only increased in price, it has also reduced in size. Mr. Speaker, this is the true state of the Ghanaian economy. And instead of government to think of how to cushion the ordinary Ghanaian, your main principle is to tax, 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 and tax. Mr. Speaker, in 2001, the minister was here. He told us that because of COVID, he wanted to introduce 5 mainline tax items. He introduced COVID levy, he introduced sanitation levy, he introduced energy sector recovery levy, he dealt with the VAT flat rate, and introduced so many other levies and taxes. Mr. Speaker, despite all these taxes, Mr. Speaker, he is back again. Following the 2021 budget and the approval of all these long taxes that I've listed, he is back again to ask for further taxes in respect of E-levy. Mr. Speaker, what we are looking at is simple. Let me encourage the members on the majority side. I know some of you have a big heart. I know some of you are not part of the insensitive group. I know some of you are concerned about your constituents. Be bold, stand up and be counted. Mr. Speaker, I want to call on them. Be bold, stand up and be counted. Be bold. Mr. Speaker, join us to say no to Momo taxation. Let me encourage the finance minister. Mr. Finance Minister, managing this economy, it's not just about quoting Bible verses to us. Thank you very much for your Bible quotation. But when you quote the Bible, you must follow that with action, principles, programs, and projects. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I am convinced that even with this E-levy, whether it is passed or not, you are on the way into opposition come 2024. On that note, Mr. Speaker, let me welcome you and thank you and wish you well. Thank you very much.